Zombie apocalypse.
What's up guys, it's Patriotsman here and I am back with another video. Today guys, we have a very big Madden Max tip for the next coming weeks here in Madden Mobile 23. Assuming EA does not change the rates on the S8 iconic trade-ins, this should be a very good method and our next big method here for Madden Max as we move on through the season. So a way to plan ahead now in the next month or so in terms of Madden Max is if you go over to the trades here, the S8 trades for the trade-ins, building an iconic player gets you 300 Madden Max tokens. Now as you guys know, when it comes to the iconic select packs in this game, so we go over down to the select exchange, all these iconic selects down here, remember that it takes 2 months for an iconic player to get from the promo to the select pack. So say Super Bowl was in February, it was not until the April field pass that we saw these Super Bowl players. Now of course, S8 was last month, which means this next month in S10, come the month of June, we are going to start seeing S8 iconics inside of the iconic select packs. And what does this mean? This means you can put in 2 of any iconic in the game to get an iconic select of one S8 player inside those packs. You're probably wondering, why is this such a big method? Well, you go over here to the trade-ins, say you put in any iconic, really, any S1-S7 iconic only goes for 63 Madden Max tokens. You only have to put in 2 iconics to get one S8 iconic come the month of June, assuming EA does not change the rates to try to mess it up for us. We will be able to do this, turn in your iconics, and get extra Madden Max tokens. Putting in 2 iconics is worth 126 Madden Max tokens. You put in 1 to get an iconic select, get the S8 player out of the iconic select, and you do get 300 Madden Max tokens back in return. That's obviously a very big profit. If you decide to save all your iconics since the beginning of Madden Max, which started a few weeks ago, well then you're going to be in a pretty good spot. Now you probably don't have as many Madden Max players as others right now, but when this happens, you will have a huge profit in terms of Madden Max tokens. Now, what can you do right now to get ready for this? Think about all the ways in the game you can get a free iconic player by simply playing the game. One way is obviously through the login counter here. You go to your inbox, you go to login counter, of course. Every 3 weeks on day 21, you get that free iconic in the login counter. The way you get those Madden Max tokens, of course, again, opening up the iconic select, putting in 2 iconics, grabbing an S8 player and trading that in for 300 Madden Max tokens instead of trading in those 2 iconics on their own for a total of 126 altogether. So a huge profit there. Next up, maybe your weight store. Go to the store here. If you're not going to use any of your weights to boost your team or anything like that, you can open up the 9,700 weight pack for a guaranteed iconic player if you wanted to. You could also go to the trades, of course, turn in 7 epic players way down here to get an iconic player, and boom, you will have an opportunity to pull maybe an S8 iconic. And if you don't pull an S8 iconic, you can still put that other one in to the select trades. The last and final tip to get iconic players in this video is, of course, through your field pass. Every single month in the field pass, you get a guaranteed free iconic player select, even as a free to play. And of course, if you buy the VIP, you're going to get an extra iconic player select as well as the guaranteed field pass specific iconic player. So as a free to play player, you have that login calendar iconic, you have this iconic player select, and that login calendar is every 3 weeks. Again, you can also use your epic players, going over to the trades, scrolling down to the random player trades down here, the players, and turning in 7 epics for a random iconic player. You'll have the opportunity to pull S8 iconics in here, and if you pull an S8 iconic straight up, that's 300 Madden Max tokens right off the rip. Now I also want to talk about the rares and uncommons as well. Now when it comes to the rares and uncommons for S1 through S7 compared to S8, starting with S7, an uncommon player, you need 2 of them to get 1 Madden Max token, whereas compared to S8, of course, it's only 1 uncommon for 2 tokens. Now we're not going to focus on the S8 uncommons, we're going to focus on the S1 to S7 uncommons to an S8 rare. When you think about it, we go over to the trades down here. This is the trade I'm talking about. When you trade in 7 of any uncommon player for a random rare player, you will get a random updated rare player. As you can see right now, it's 118 plus overall rare player. So next month, the S8 rares are going to be inside these packs. And you are putting in 3.5 tokens worth of uncommon players if you put in 7 S1 to S7 uncommons. You're hoping, of course, to pull an S8 rare, because those go for 12 Madden Max tokens. Now, if you pull an S1 to S7 rare instead of an S8, you're only going to get 3 tokens back because an S1 to S7 rare right here only goes for 3. So you're taking a small chance on it. However, the risk can pay off because you are actually gaining a quite good amount from 3.5 tokens to 12 if you actually do hit on the S8 player once. So once again, in case that didn't make sense, you would also want to try to trade in your S1 to S7 uncommons in this trade right here, as all the S1 to S7 uncommon players, these down here, the Pharaoh Cooper, the Brett Maher, the Michael Badgley, all these cards are worth 0.5 Madden Max tokens each. So 7 of them, that's 3.5 tokens you're putting in, and you're hoping to pull an S8 rare player that's going to give you 12 when you pull it. If you pull an S1 to S7 rare player instead of an S8, you're only going to get 3 back in return, and you will lose 0.5 Madden Max tokens. But if you do profit, the profit is really good, from 3.5 all the way to 12. So the goal of this video is to talk about trading in all your S1 to S7 players next month when the packs get updated, because the S8 players go for a much larger amount than the S1 to S7 cards, and with these S8 players getting added to the Iconic Select packs, getting added to random rare packs, and all stuff like that, you're going to have a very good opportunity to get Madden Max tokens, assuming EA does not change the stuff all of a sudden and go back on their word of these values not changing in the trades. That would stink if EA changed their word here. They said already they're not going to change the trade-in values. If they did, that would be terrible for the community. But as of right now, this is a very good method. You want to save your uncommons and rares for right now, unless, of course, you are trading for Trailblazers. If you're trading in your uncommons and your rares to get Trailblazers players, then trading in these S9 players in their trade-ins, that's also still a very good method right now. But if you're done with S9, if you are done trading in for Trailblazers in that field pass, go ahead and save up your uncommons and rares, save up your base iconics like I'm doing right now. I do have 3 players ready for these select packs like Joe Tooney, Nick Bosa, and Quinnen Williams. And as you go along on your team, you will be replacing some iconic players that are on your team right now. So make sure to keep those guys on your bench for the month of June when S8 players get added to packs. The last thing right here is don't trade in your S1 to S7 foils either. As we go over to the S1 to S7 right here, an iconic foil trades in for 210. So say you have 1 iconic foil and you have 1 base iconic, 210 plus 63 is 273. And when you trade those 2 in, you're still going to be getting 300 back for those 2 cards. So you don't want to trade in your iconic foils either for S1 to S7 right now, because when the next month hits, you can still trade in a foil plus a base iconic to get a profit of 27 Madden Max tokens by simply putting those guys in. Now, if you're very impatient like me sometimes and you want to put these cards in and get straight Madden Max tokens right now, you can do that. But know that when the month of May comes to an end and S10 drops in June, we are going to have a huge potential in the game to make profit on Madden Max tokens by simply trading in old uncommons and rares as well as iconics to get random rare packs as well as iconic select packs to get extra Madden Max tokens here. But yeah, guys, that's my tip for today's video. A very, very important tip. I wanted to put it out a few weeks before the field pass is over, so you guys have time to prepare for it. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.